Hello there,
Hey.
everyone. If you're watching the stream, this is the post show. If you're watching from home, this is the post show. We just watched,
Why do you keep saying this every time we do one of these?
we just watched the very short Bethesda conference, clocked in at 40 minutes almost exactly.
Short for a press conference.
Short for a press conference, pretty odd. But I mean,
it was short and to the point.
it was short to the point, full of expletives, but whatever. They showed some really good stuff, though.
Yeah, I mean,
the notes that I have from the show
Wolfenstein is like best.
is Wolfenstein is the best.
The best
game ever.
I mean, when
Yeah.
it comes to conferences, we've actually been talking about that, how we just want them to do games.
That's
That's what we
and
wanted
little
EA to
talking.
do.
Well, I mean, that's generally in most conference like circumstances. We just want them to talk games and then end the conference. That's what we got, but it was a lot less than we were expecting.
I mean, I like you said, I appreciate the fact that they just went, here's Pete Hines, here's a bunch of games. Cool.
I
really
missed
awesome.
Todd Howard's
I guess
jackets.
they're
But
still working on stuff,
we
so
were-
they don't really have much to show this
We
year.
were expecting a surprise, I guess. And
We didn't see one.
everything else everything we saw,
pretty much
thought was
predicted.
The surprise was the conference.
Yeah,
That was the surprise.
The surprise itself was that
Yeah.
it was like 40 minutes.
So
in and
I
out.
mean,
well, let's go
we
through
saw
it.
some good stuff. We saw
Doom
Doom
VR, Fallout 4
and Fallout
VR.
VR.
Yeah.
I want to talk about those just for a little bit because
Okay.
those were so cool.
Yeah.
The Doom VR was just kind of your standard, VR game. It's one of the teleport thing, and you just
Yeah,
shoot
you
guys.
point and
whatever.
teleport.
The Fallout 4 one is just, it seems like a full VR port of Fallout 4.
Which is incredible.
And they showed it on the Vive, and it was just, you using the Vive stick to move around, and you're shooting, and
yeah.
you hold up the Pip-Boy like that. It seemed like just a full 100%
Here's
port.
hoping that it's on PSVR because that's probably
Yeah.
gonna be my choice to play on.
Because, I mean, they
but-
showed the Doom VR game
In
on
Oculus.
the Oculus, and they showed the Fallout on the Vive. So I'm assuming that means they're saying we're on multiple VR platforms, or it could be them saying this one's on this one, this one's on
I
that
think
one.
I honestly I thought they showed everything on the Vive, but I'm not sure.
I
I
mean,
thought the first one was the Oculus.
yeah, wasn't it?
had the
Because they
bumps
didn't
on
even
it.
have the Vive controller show
I don't know
up.
how.
Which one has the
works.
bumps on it?
That's so. This is the thing. Nobody cares about VR, so nobody
Which
really
one has
knows
the
too much.
glowing,
Give me
glowing
the
balls
sticks.
on top of the
Still,
sticks?
though, porting Fallout 4 to VR, that's a really cool
Yeah,
thing.
it looks
That's a
really
cool.
cool.
Thing. That's
I
a really
mean,
cool thing.
That was unexpected, especially since they were talking Skyrim VR last year. But
Yeah.
they're just like, you know what? F it, we're going Fallout.
Yeah.
Do we think
Then-
they're going to charge a separate purchase price for that? Like, if you already
Or
own.
you think it's gonna be a free update?
Yeah, that's what I hope.
Free update.
But
I think it's gonna be free.
you think it's going to be free?
Yeah,
update?
I like
Okay.
as far as we know, Bethesda's had like a history
What-
of just not charging you for
Well, wait.
unnecessary
What
stuff.
does?
Except for the Fallout 4 DLC.
Let's say it's the Vive. What does the Vive run off of? Steam, right? Or does it have its
just
own
whatever the
proprietary
game's
thing?
on, right? Or does it have its own?
Proprietary.
I think it has its own store.
If it had its own store, then they have to charge for it. But if you can port it over, so anyway, what was next?
That's
thing we saw?
besides the point.
Yeah, what was the next
we
thing
have the ESO Morrowind Battlegrounds mode. Typical. I don't think any of us really play.
MMR Burger.
Yeah.
if you like
Elder-
Elder Scrolls Online, it's more of that. So
Yeah.
good
it
for
looks
you.
cool. My
It looks really
brother's
cool.
into it.
If you like Elder Scrolls Online, there's more of that. What was the next thing?
Creation Club, first
Creation
party and
Club
third party mods.
Was a really cool thing. Just to explain it a little bit, like Brandon said, there was first party from Bethesda and like other developer.
and then they also
that
have
create
top community creators
and top community creators that create mods specifically for Skyrim Enhanced Edition
and
to work on
and
consoles
Fallout 4.
and Fallout 4. And what it is there's a credit system. Did they explain how you get the credits?
I think it was very brief. I
I
didn't
assume
really catch it.
for gameplay, and you have the credits, and then you can unlock the certain mods, and you just get them right in the game. Like
Yeah, right there.
away.
They're just
Yeah.
in your game right
Very.
away.
It seemed like a cool
It
feature.
looks super cool.
First party mods are always the best.
Oh yeah, because they have all the
Basically
resources that they need.
DLC.
Because you know how they, I don't know if you guys know this, Bethesda does like a yearly like mashup of all
Yeah.
like mods that the actual developers want to
Yeah.
put in. I think this
And they-
is
and
just this, and they can implement it.
And they can implement it like instead of just yearly. They can
Yeah,
do
instead of doing like a big
weekly,
update or patch that they have to put through the big companies, they're just like it's DLC
Weekly.
off of Bethesda.
I mean, despite this being brief, the theme of giving people what they want has stuck through.
Yeah,
like
100%.
I mean, it's this was basically all about. We heard what you've been asking for. Here it is.
Yeah.
Here it is. Here it
Yeah,
is.
right?
Very exciting.
They were
So-
short and sweet to the point and
Yeah.
gave us exactly what we wanted.
Very exciting.
What was next?
They had
Legends, right?
Elder Scrolls Legends
Card game.
coming out June 29th.
Once again,
It looks fine.
I mean,
If you like card games.
it's like Bethesda's
crazy.
follow-up to Gwent.
If you're a loser, it's just like
I mean, like,
We're
as card games
yeah.
go, nothing too crazy. Regular
It's the
card
follow-up to Gwent and Hearthstone.
none of us play
like
Elder
regular
Scrolls
card games.
Online or the
Elder
Elder
Scrolls
Scrolls
Legends.
Legends. So
It's
I mean,
our
like
jobs, but who cares?
they're adding more content to those. So like, if you're excited about that,
Yeah.
it's great. But for us, it's just not something we're
Yeah.
super stoked about.
The next thing,
Skyrim on Switch,
a very
That's
exciting
something I'm very
showcase,
excited about.
which looks really cool.
They
I
showed,
might
like,
actually buy a Switch for
a
that.
minute or two of Skyrim on Switch with a very, very cool new feature. We said it during the live stream, a new meme. Logan said, at one point, "Is this really justify buying the game for a fourth time?" Then on screen, like maybe a second later, they got a little Link amiibo.
Moby?
And they
It's
put,
really late right now. If you're watching this at a later time, it's about 1 a.m.
and
so.
they put it on the Joy-Con, and a freaking Zelda chest popped up, and you got the Master
and
Sword.
you had
the
Link dressed in
tunic.
his Breath of the Wild
even
outfit going.
the Hylian shield
Yeah.
too.
And then right after that, Logan exclaimed, "I can't wait to buy that."
I can name my horse Epona for the
Yeah,
50th
exactly.
time.
Oh,
Yay!
That was actually really cool.
It's a
to
really
do
cool
that.
thing they didn't have to implement, but they did it. They did it anyway.
I feel like that's just like Bethesda's been working on
Mods, first-party mods for all of the amiibos.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey, you want a Mario
I was
outfit?
gonna say, I really, really hope that stuff is exclusive to the Switch. I really hope it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Here-
Well, normally exclusivity sucks. That makes it so much more worth to get a Switch and then a
More
mobile.
enticing to get it.
Here's the thing for me with that. They still haven't confirmed whether it's going to be Skyrim Legendary Edition or just the 2011 port of Skyrim. If it's just the 2011 port of Skyrim, I have very little inclination to buy it again.
I feel like it'll have to be the enhanced edition
But
or whatever.
also, can the Switch run that enhanced edition? Because the
Probably.
enhanced edition is full 1080p.
Oh, that's
Switch
right.
runs it at 720.
I mean, even if you're developing for the Switch, you're down-resing anyway.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're
Excuse me.
just taking what the enhancements that they did for the enhanced edition.
but do you think
and
they
then
can?
making it for the
My
Switch.
question is, I just don't know if they can run the enhanced edition at a stable frame rate with only two
Well,
gigs
no.
of
What
RAM.
I'm saying is like what they, aside from the up-res, just the improvements that they made for the enhanced edition,
Oh.
just on the Switch.
I'm sure they'll have added bonuses to it. I mean, they have to. The game is 6 years old at this point. But I just don't think it's going to be that legendary edition standard that we saw on
Yeah.
PS4
I
and
get what
Xbox
you're saying.
One.
Did you guys
So.
see the motion controls for it though?
Yeah.
They were pretty cool.
I have no interest.
He was using
in
the
that.
Joy-Cons to pull the arrows back.
It looked
I'd
pretty
like
cool.
to just play in handheld mode and be done with it. That's
It looked
what
cool.
I want.
Anyway, Dishonored 2 DLC. After that, Death of the Outsider,
It
September
seems-
15th.
It seems they're following the same kind of DLC path of the first one,
Which was
went
really
as,
cool.
where the first couple DLCs are actually not the main characters, but it's a whole other set, either showing a prequel thing.
Yeah.
This is a prequel thing, right?
Well, it's like separate. It's not
Yeah, yeah,
exactly
yeah.
prequel, but it's just like
Yeah.
alongside.
They're gonna kill the outsider, which, if you forgot from the first game, he's a guy who likes to make scrimshaw in his spare time.
Not even just the first game, just in the second game too, is right?
Yeah, he's
Oh.
in there, but he's
Yeah.
mainly in the first one, I think.
But you play as Billy, who
The kid.
exiled
Oh,
in the
Billy.
in the first game, in the
Robot
first DLC, the Brigmore Witches.
Robot Eye.
It was the down. It was a whole different experience, and it was
Yeah,
really fun.
Very good.
I love playing as
I
Down.
mean, Dishonored has kind of always been good.
Yeah.
So hopefully this one will keep.
I don't think it'll disappoint.
Yeah, it looks really good. At least the
Um,
cinematic trailer looked really good.
Yeah. After that, Quake Champions open beta coming.
Play as BJ Blazkowicz. That was a big
You can
thing.
play as BJ Blazkowicz.
Despite his voice sounding
Despite
different
his
to
voice
John.
sounding nothing like the BJ Blazkowicz from Wolfenstein: The New Order.
His special is cool.
His special was cool. You can dual wield the gun shoots. One thing that was kind of weird that
The gun shoots.
we both kind of mentioned is
That's just super. His gun shoots. Wow.
Dual wield the gun shoots.
that we both kind
awesome.
of mentioned is they didn't mention an actual release date, but they mentioned this
The
championship.
beta for.
Well, they
Yeah, the
mentioned the
championship
beta,
is like
August 27th.
but they mentioned the championship, which has $1 million prize pool. So are they going to play on the beta version?
That's my guess.
I guess they're going to do that, a live QA test.
Yeah. Well,
for
because
$1 million.
if they were playing on the live version, wouldn't they have announced when the live version is going
Yeah.
live?
It just seems odd to me.
Yeah, it
They're
was
gonna play
very
on
strange.
beta
Maybe
build,
we'll
you
hear
know?
more from it in the future.
Maybe.
Maybe
Let's just get through this before I have wrap up opinions on
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Evil Within 2 coming out Friday the 13th.
Awesome trailer. That's probably the best trailer we
I
saw
mean,
for the entire thing.
the cinematic
looks
trailer
so
looks good.
good.
The first one did though, but as we know for the first
I
game,
really enjoyed the first
the
one.
real horror was the script. So hopefully this one doesn't make the same mistake.
Got him. The game was fun though. Like it was fun
it
to
was
play.
an alright game. It got for me, it got a little tiring near the end because you just got super overpowered.
You got a little tiring, John.
when it's 1 a.m. in the morning.
The game looked really cool though.
It looked really
Or at least
cool.
the trailer looked really cool.
There was Milkman from Call of Duty Ghosts.
Oh yeah. For some reason they had it was like, for 15 minutes they had the shroud over their eyes.
exactly.
They emerged from the dust
from
like
the
ghosts.
milk, like ghosts.
Goose.
And then after
to wrap
that,
up, to
we
wrap up the
saw
conference.
the best thing ever.
It started out so cool with like the live action creepiness.
We
Yeah.
thought it would be
TV show.
Fallout. I'm like, wait a minute, guys.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Wolfenstein, and then that giant robot doggo hops over
The
the
best
mountain.
thing.
I prefer
Lita,
Biscuit
right?
personally, though.
I just want to reiterate, I said this during the stream, but in case you missed it, I want to reiterate why BJ Blazkowicz is the best character ever. So far, in the game series,
Here, just as a recap,
he has survived D-Day ×2, basically, storming the castle. He survived going to the moon. He survived fighting a giant mecha robot spider. He survived attacking the same castle again and then winning.
Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
And he survived a nuclear blast, all being in a coma for a total of like 12 years and never losing any muscle mass. Only gaining muscle mass. That's how cool he
You know,
is.
they were working out his body while he was in a
I've
coma.
lost
That's
muscle
how
mass
cool
from
he is.
yesterday.
Exactly.
People were like moving his muscles. They're like, we need.
The only
his
way
muscles."
they can top the opening for this game is when he wakes up from the coma, he kills 2 Nazis immediately. Instead of one. Yeah.
Hey, the Doom guy killed 3 demons.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just saying.
I mean,
Those are weak
like, as we've seen,
These are weak Nazis.
I guess we can, do you want to say anything else like generally over the thing? Do you want to go in the wrap-ups?
I'm upset that there's no freemium.
Oh yeah, there was no freemium like supply.
And it was hella short.
It was short, 40
Yeah.
minutes.
It was kind of underwhelming,
A little
but
weird.
it was
A
good.
little weird.
I honestly feel like they didn't need to have this press conference. Like, as cool as some of the stuff they showed was, they could have showed all of
They
this
could've
at other
saved them-
press
they
conferences.
They could have saved the company like what, $10 million from not
Yeah,
doing any of that
they
stuff.
could have shown Skyrim on Switch at the Nintendo conference. They could have showed Wolfenstein and The Evil Within 2 at Sony or Microsoft.
Yeah.
They could have showed.
I guess they had the Quake Champions Dishonored and Elder Scrolls Creation Club. I mean, they had enough stuff to warrant.
I mean, but
Yeah.
because they kept rolling with the trailers, they could have pitched it to these other companies and been like, "Hey, this won't take up that much time." Now, granted, Xbox might not have been as willing to do it, but I'm sure Sony would have been like, "Well, we don't know about tomorrow night. We could see Sony's, and we could be like."
Yeah.
So there may not have been time for this,
I
but
still think they had enough of their own stuff to warrant their own conference.
I still feel 40 minutes is extremely short.
It was really
Yeah.
weird.
It was not what I mean. I was
barely said anything.
expecting at least an hour.
Yeah.
I was expecting Todd to come out and just be like, "It just works," and then just be
Where
like, "That's
was his leather jacket? Where is it? Is
I
he-
wanted-
Do you think he's in Vietnam right now getting it tailored?
Probably. Dude, I wanted Todd's pretty face on stage.
I mean, last year I remember asking myself before the conference went on. I was like, all right, so what makes it worth it for Bethesda to have a conference 2 years in a row? And last year the conference was 90 minutes. They revealed Prey at the end, and that was like took up 15 minutes. They revealed Dishonored 2, the gameplay.
they had Fallout 4,
Yeah.
Fallout Shelter.
Yeah, and so it just felt like they had Fallout 4, all that DLC they were talking about. It just felt like they had a lot more substance to it, and this
Yeah.
just felt like, here's 5, 6, 7 games, here's some trailers, but it felt very expected.
You know what it
there was
might have
nothing that was a big surprise.
Maybe they took the feedback from Todd Howard saying it just works and you can do this, this, and this, and they said, well, let's just not even have that. Let's just show a trailer and then be done with it. So
Never
we get
give
no
in to
feedback.
internet memes because then
Yeah.
you get a 40-minute show. It's just
Exactly,
not.
never do it.
I mean, we could have had just very well. They're still working on stuff. They wanted a conference to show up the stuff that they have finished.
Yeah.
But they're still working on games, and they're just like, let's show the stuff we do have, but keep our heads focused.
Yeah.
Not show anything that we don't need to.
So I
Because you know
guess-
they announced Fallout like a couple months before.
5 months before it came out?
Yeah, before it comes. Maybe they're about to do the same thing.
I mean, he did this is a thing, and we didn't mention it. All of these games that we mentioned and all the DLC is coming out this year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus Order, is coming out in October.
So
along
is
with
Evil Within 2.
And other games from
Quake
Xbox and
Quake
stuff.
beta's coming
And
out.
Quake's in August, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like
I think this is they know they get the best reaction when their games come out the same year that they announce it.
Yeah. They know their
So-
audience, they know what they're playing to.
They're playing to their strengths.
Yeah. I guess like overall reactions. I guess I'll
Underwhelming,
go
but good?
first. Well, my thing was kind of like last year's. It was all a bunch of really cool stuff, and then Wolfenstein came on, and it was the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I absolutely love Wolfenstein, and this one looks
I love it.
amazing. You're in
You should do a playthrough
60s
for us, man.
Nazi. There was Nazis and KKKs holding hands. I love it. There was a scene. There
once
was this-
again, you take anything you've said about Wolfenstein 2 out of context, and you'd sound like the most racist prick ever. Nazis and KKK were holding hands. I love it. Oh.
There was one of my favorite World War II tropes where everyone's having a good time in a place, and then a Nazi guy comes in and tries to join them, and they're like really nervous about
I'll take
it.
a strawberry milkshake. Let me see your papers.
Thank you, Commandant.
Let me see your papers.
I
Give
love
me compliments. I said give me compliments.
The main reason I love it is because everything else I'd be like, oh, what happens? If it's Wolfenstein, I know exactly what happens. That guy doesn't have a face anymore. That's what happens.
I said give me my face back. I said give me my face back.
So yeah, I mean,
Can we expect a playthrough of Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, from our very own John McCrone?
I mean, I'll do it behind a dumpster if I have to. I'm gonna do it.
It's not a Wolfenstein 2 playthrough until he can take a whiskey shot first. That's what it has to do.
What do you mean if I can take one?
If you can hold your whiskey.
The guy said it.
Oh
in the
yeah, the joke. I forgot.
How you already forget a reference? It was 15 minutes
I was
ago.
looking at BJ. What am I gonna do? I'm
Just
doing
a man
Philip.
if he can't hold his whiskey.
I was looking for the BJ, the
looking for the
Blaskowitz.
BJ.
The back.
The Blaskowitz.
The Blaskowitz,
Yeah.
to clarify.
My best summation of the whole thing was Wolfenstein
we
is the
get
best
ratings?
too.
What was your hold on? What was your favorite part, Brandon? Like one thing.
Yeah.
Creation Club, easily.
Creation Club.
was so cool.
John, I feel like we already know.
Wolfenstein.
I'm really excited for Zelda on Switch, but that all depends on
Skyrim on Switch?
The Skyrim with the Zelda mod on Switch. Yeah. I was excited about it, but it all depends on like what ends up being in it in terms of what edition it is.
And what game it's being ported from.
Yeah,
I think Biscuit just farted. I
probably.
can smell it.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
she's asleep, so she's announcing her sleeping.
She always farts.
So-
all right, ratings.
I think this time to keep with the theme, we should do Iron Crosses for bravery out of 5.
How about no? How about no?
How many Iron Crosses would you give Bethesda?
Well, no, we'll just do stars to keep it PC.
Or sales.
We'll do sales. So, I think for me,
How many
honestly,
how many pyramid heads out of 5?
Box heads,
honestly,
man. Box heads.
how many Jewish mecha suits? So that was in the trailer. Don't please. So, for me, I'm gonna keep with the joke memes. Before Wolfenstein came out, it was a 4. After Wolfenstein came out, it was a 6.
Oh my god.
honestly.
You liked it that much.
I love Wolfenstein so
This was
much.
better than any conference you've seen so far.
I mean, we haven't seen Sony, so
EA
yeah.
and you've seen. This is better than
Okay.
EA and Microsoft.
I'll
That's what
take
you're
I'll
saying.
take my bias away for a minute. Microsoft was better just because there was more meat. But I mean, the games here, it's Bethesda. They're more solid games. I know all these games are gonna be great, except maybe Evil Within 2. I know all these games are gonna be great.
Hater.
Microsoft, there was 42 games. Some of those have to be flops. They just have to be.
Brandon.
I'd give it a 4. 4.
Definitely solid.
Because I'm just underwhelmed. We didn't see any freemium stuff, and it was a 40-minute thing, but it was good. I can't complain. What they showed was solid.
I mean, the conference overall, if you take away the expectations of what the length was supposed to be, I'd give it a 4. But just because it was so short and it kind of felt pointless, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5.
That's
still
fair.
on par with
Yeah.
Microsoft for me, but because there is an expectation that all these games are going to be great. And some of them we know they're going to be great because they've already been released 6 years ago.
Exactly, yeah.
But, you know, it's
I
just...
mean, it goes to show the longevity of a Bethesda game.
Yeah,
you know,
they make
and how
their
good a
games to
Bethesda
last.
game is. If it's still people still want new content and new like platforms for it 6 years later, that's very, very good.
They build their games to last.
Yeah.
It's just been this thing, though, of like, once again, was it worth it? Did this really
They
need
could have
to
saved
be
$10
this way?
million
Yeah.
and gave Todd Howard 6 more jackets.
Or just, you know, they could
They're
have
expensive.
they could have just released a bunch of trailers for this stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, they honestly could have. They didn't. They could have pulled Nintendo and just had the whole what was it, Bethesda Land thing. They could have easily done that and saved the conference space. And
Yeah.
everything like that.
So I don't know. Overall, not bad though. Not
Yeah,
bad at all.
not bad.
Just a
Yeah.
little world wish for a
Can we
longer
get,
thing.
Can we get the super for the sign off? Just
What they do, they
That's
do very
fine.
well.
Yeah.
Super's
Yeah.
coming up in a sec, but
Yeah.
last thoughts, I guess.
It was good.
Besides what
Yeah.
they do very well, even
Last
though
thoughts.
even though it's short.
We're still doing the streams.
Supers.
There they are. Check us out tomorrow at what is it again?
Noon
Noon is
for the
first
PC gaming show.
one? The PC gaming show.
Yeah.
We'll be in a new location.
We'll be
For-
in the.
If you're
PC
watching
gaming
this on
room.
YouTube, it'll all be scrubbed out. You'll find out later. You'll see.
You'll find out later.
You'll see. We appreciate it. This is Biscuit.
That's Biscuit. I'm John Styler McCrone.
Brandon Diaz.
I'm Logan Anstead.
That has been the show. Bye bye.
Good night.
I'm really
friends.
nervous.
Bye-bye.
I'm really nervous about the sound bites of
10
myself that